Money, touchdown, Baylor, bang!
This is the Sick'em 365 Radio Baylor Football Tailgate Show, brought to you by
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, protecting Texans since 1952. IdealMRI.com. Premium quality MRIs. Convenient, affordable. That's Ideal. Edward Jones Investments. With agents Ben Erlinson, Brad Wilson, Tom Albers, and Cam Heathcott. Makes sense of investing. Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. The team physicians for Baylor Athletics. Our goal is to get you back in the game. Stonewood Dental. Your comfort is our priority.
Baylor forced to use a timeout. Bohannon puts some air on the throw, lofts it to Ebner, who goes airborne, hurtling into the end zone. Touchdown, Baylor.
Petty Clinic Low T, helping you become the high-performance man you want to be. Pioneer Steel and Pipe. Metal buildings, metal roofing, steel and pipe. The Pioneer way since 1943. Baylor University, where lights shine bright. Allen Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat. Come by, let's be friends. U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company, 254-598-8131.
A little interesting here.
Yeah, tight formation. They'll go Howard, and he goes nowhere. And he lost the football, and it's scooped and picked up. And this is going to be a 99-yard return for 6. J.T. Woods, an exclamation point for Baylor.
Now here's Paul Catalina.
Hey, it's Brian Etheridge doing our top 10 things here following the game against Iowa State. Baylor, big win. Went out to 15, though. So first, it was not a good start for the Baylor defense, with Iowa State running it down 8 plays, 75 yards for the first touchdown of the game. Baylor responded with physicality right after that to tie it up. He had a great throw from Gary Bohannon to Tyquan Thornton with fancy footwork there to make that touchdown. And then the worst thing happened on the defense. Terrell Bernard went out. Lost, we don't know, hadn't come back into the game. Came back in and then didn't, and then was on the sidelines and didn't return in the second half. You know, Al Walcott had a great game. That came out of the blue. So it's great to see him go out there and make a difference. The first half, Gary Bohannon, it was his world, and we were all just living in it. But the personal fouls from Baylor were really what kept Iowa State in the game in the first half. There was a bad time for the turnover from Gary Bohannon, and Iowa State capitalized, and then Treston Ebner did what Treston Ebner does, and for the kickoff return there for the touchdown. The one thing about this is just a slugfest in the trenches, and Iowa State had the ball on the time of possession, which sort of, alluded to what happened and how they were able to control the clock, and also, wear the defense down. Apu made a great play to in that one drive, and Garmin Randolph with the interception. Guys, big mid up there on it. So then I'm going to ask you, other teams in the conference, when will they quit kicking to Treston Ebner? We don't know. Then a great kick by Hankins to go up by 8 with 5:36 to play, and that would end up being the difference after J.T. Woods intercepts the 2-point conversion, which Brock Purdy's knee was down. So agree with that, Paul?
Yep, very down.
So that's it. And then the big win, 4-0. Can't be 15-0 without being 4-0 per Ashley Hodge. So this is right now, me, Paul, coming in to the postgame show.
Yeah, the postgame show starts right now. We've already played the open. We're in it. We don't want to waste any time. We want to get in it. 254-339-1122. Already got 3 calls loaded up on the BetUS hotline. Also, text us 254-339-1122 and the chat on YouTube. We'll get to it all. Baylor wins. I don't think people want them to win like that very often when it takes to.
The cardiologists do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Look, the hospitals are packed right now.
We don't need that.
Don't need it.
No heart attacks, guys.
No heart attacks.
Get your aspirin.
Yeah, exactly. You won't get a bed. All right, 254-339-1122. Baylor physical all day long. No matter what you can say, they're physical all day long. There are some things that you can tell that this is a young team, Brian. They have to overcome some of those things. For example, the reason that Iowa State was in this game is they're a veteran team.
Oh, yes.
A veteran team falls on a muff punt.
Yeah.
Baylor doesn't. A veteran team gets that fumble, like they did with Gary Bohannon, or doesn't fumble.
Yes.
There are times in this game where if Baylor doesn't shoot itself in the foot, that doesn't even come down to that.
No,
they were in complete control until late in the third quarter. Complete control of the game, and I think that's a big step forward. Although, I will tell you, Baylor fans, this is probably what your season is going to look like.
Well, this is much like 2019's game against Iowa State as well. I mean, Baylor controlled that entire game, but then all of a sudden comes down to the fact that John Mayers has to hit a kick to win it. Yeah. And, a 2-point game in that one. So this game, I mean, if you're betting more than 2 points against Baylor or Iowa State, don't do it.
No, and look, coming up, if you look at the schedule coming up and the way that the Big 12 is falling, Oklahoma State probably going to go like this.
Yeah.
This is how they're going to play. West Virginia, going to go like this. Yep. BYU might be a little bit different because BYU might be a little bit of a different animal, but it probably will go like this. Texas, probably going to go like this. Yep. I think Texas is somewhere between what we've seen them all these 3 games.
Yeah.
They're somewhere in the middle. TCU definitely going to go like this. Definitely going to go like this.
Just get ready to slug it out the whole entire time.
Yeah.
It was
Kansas
funny.
State going to go like this.
I was driving in today listening to Sirius, and a guy was talking about, well, that's just a Big 12 defense. Didn't all those Big 12 defenses kick everybody's ass in the bowl last year?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing about it. The Big 12 has defense. We've seen it, and now you're seeing it again. But, it's the Big 12 narrative from 15 years ago.
Yeah.
It's not the Mountain West or the old pack or whatever it was back in the day.
To me, it's kind of like that thing about Richard Gere and the gerbil. There's a story about Richard Gere and a gerbil. Richard Gere's done like 15 excellent movies since the gerbil rumor. And first of all, it wasn't true, but some people talk about I just did it. It's been 30 years. I mean,
really.
But people just don't forget things. People just get things in their head and they don't forget
it
them.
wasn't a hamster or a guinea pig.
Exactly.
Exactly.
All right, Tony from Boston, call us back. I was about to go to you. Richard in San Antonio, you're on Sikkim 365 Radio Postgame Show. Thanks for your call.
What's going on, fellas? Oh man, my heart is still pumping from that game. It was a roller coaster ride. Offense played really well in the first half, disappeared in the second half, and we just did enough. Tresson Ebner helped us a lot with that return touchdown, that punt return to set us up. If we would have tried to score a touchdown, the offense was just really, really stagnant. But you pretty much just, you find a way to win. And we played tough. Defense, a little too, very undisciplined. You would think it would be more disciplined with a veteran defense like that. But you just find a way to win. And, like y'all were saying, that's how these Big 12 games are going to go. And just clean up the sloppiness. And, we can win these games. And, it's just, figure it out on offense and just take care of it and, just do what you need to do. And hopefully, we can finish high in the Big 12 standings.
Richard, thanks for your call. Yeah, Brian, I think, again, Baylor's the team that was really, and this is not a knock on Iowa State. That's a very good team they beat. This was a measuring stick game, and we know where the measuring stick is now. This is what the Big 12, like Richard said, is going to look like pretty much top to bottom all year round. There's not a team the only team I think that has the potential to separate would be Oklahoma if they wake up. But this may be who Oklahoma is too. We don't know yet. We'll find out over the next couple weeks. But if they don't get, yes, granted, 2 of the 15-yard penalties were totally bogus.
Yes,
they were not good penalties. They were not good calls. But that being said, even you take those 30 yards away, they still have 53 yards in penalties, and they weren't getting penalties on first down and making it first and 5 or first and 15.
Yep.
They were getting penalties on third down in bad spots. So those are the things they need to clean up. But those are the things that will get cleaned up as they get experience and they become confident.
I think one thing Richard pointed out here, this is a younger team learning to win. And they learned to win a little bit in an ugly way today. Mm-hmm. So is this something you see going forward where this is going to be an ugly win and that propels to better wins?
You would think so. You would think so. All right, let's go. Tony in Boston. You're on the Bet US caller line.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
Doing great, Tony.
Good. So, quick thing. I want to get into the game, but the main thing is the whole thing about the fans chanting overrated. There's nothing overrated about Iowa State. So everybody got to relax. This was a good win. This was big or whatnot. The game, it was a very good game, but, I kind of feel some type of way about the fans chanting that or whatnot. Iowa State is a very good, solid team. or whatnot, and I just kind of want to get you guys' take on that because I saw one of the Smoak brothers talking about it. Thanks.
All right, thanks. Tony, you have just hit on one of my biggest sports pet peeves. As a matter of fact, I'm telling you the top 5 on Monday is going to include this. It will include this. It's going to. I'm going to get into it because it needs to be said, and I want it plastered all over the internet like a Kim Kardashian photo at the beach. But
Photoshopped?
Yeah. But no, here's what I think. When you chant overrated, you are actually insulting yourself. Because what you're saying is, this is not that impressive.
I am 100%
We should have done this.
Yep, 100% agreement. I hate the overrated chant.
So what you should say is underrated or exactly rated. Properly assessed by the experts in the field. Or, that's what you should do.
Where we should be.
Yeah,
there you
exactly.
go. It's something. But, I hate the overrated chant because it makes your team seem like they're not as good as what they're playing.
It's dumb. I know you're trying to insult somebody, but it's like a backhanded insult to yourself.
Yeah. Can I add in the playing down to your level?
Yeah.
That's the same thing. You are playing up to their level? No. You're having a good game. You're playing great. And these are two evenly matched teams. And that's something we saw. And, again, the Big 12 has that. And that's what we saw all of 2020. We saw much of 2019. There were really close games across there. So,
yeah. It's also one of those things like where people say, I could care less. No. If you could, you would. You could not care less.
Correct.
Like you could care less. I said it one time and said somebody, you could. No, I could. I could care less. I choose to care at this amount, but it could be less later. I don't know.
No.
Let's go back to the phones. Jeff in Mexico. Jeff, thanks for your call.
Hey, guys. Roll Tide.
What's up, buddy?
I'm not Craig, so I'm not going to give you the Roll Tide.
Yeah.
Got the hat on, though, hey, but
Paul, I don't remember this, but all week I was saying in the chat on 365 that Baylor was going to win 31-24, and everybody said Baylor could not score 31 points on that Iowa State defense.
Well, Jeff, you were right, and people in Waco are delighted with you.
I had 31-17.
Yeah.
I did. And, Jeff, thanks for the call from Mexico.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. I get in the chat room and mess around with y'all during my time, and I really appreciate you coming on there. And I'll give you a Roll Tide.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I thought this game would be close. I predicted 24-21 Iowa State. And the reason I did was because of what almost happened is where Baylor's youth and their mistakes almost caught up to them. But their energy balanced it out. The way that they rose to the occasion. Look, you have to – the great thing about being up 8, I think, in any game for any team is you only have to make one play.
Yes.
One play. It's either stop the touchdown, and even if you stop the touchdown, you still get another opportunity.
Yep.
And blocking an extra point in college is a really hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to do anyway, but blocking a kick is hard to do, and hoping they miss it is tough, especially when your teams come back and they've got the momentum. So stopping that one play, I've always liked that for teams. And they did. They knew in that moment, all we have to do is stop this one play. And they actually stopped it twice.
Yeah,
Brock Purdy stopped it, and then they –
and what's the thing is, what if they convert that? Does Baylor go back and review that? Because his knee was down.
Well, if Kohler had caught up that ball, I guarantee you, Mr. Chill Dave Aranda would have been like, nope.
We could have seen some veins in the forehead. Yeah,
he might have sprouted some hair. I don't know. He would have been mad. All right, Steven from Virginia. I wanted to give you a second to come down to maybe under 100%. I'm expecting you at 98 here, but you had talked about this all week with me, and you were very enthusiastic. Thanks for your call.
I want to be measured. This is a professional place. So I want to start off by saying, I told you so, I told you so, I told you so. And then I also want to say that this Baylor team kept a veteran Iowa State team in the game with penalties and turnovers. And it's going to be tough moving forward if Petrie and Bernard are not going to play, because that's certainly not the same team, and it certainly was a lot harder. But this Baylor team worked for everything today, and they just kept sticking it to them. And I just want to say this is really satisfying. This is really exciting. And you know what? They made just enough plays to win that game. And Baylor has the talent. They've recruited the talent. They've coached up the talent. And if they can beat Iowa State this way, they can beat any other team in the conference this way. And it's a very exciting time to be a Bear, because the Big 12 did not look good again. And it might take 8-4, or it might only take 9-3 for an invite to the Big 12 championship game. And if Baylor wins the Big 12 this year or goes to the Big 12 title, since Sam Ehlinger declared that Texas was back, Baylor was back twice. Later, guys, I got to go die. It was fun knowing you, even if it was just the last bit of my life.
All right, thank you, Steven. Don Ford, we don't have to answer that one. That was.
I'm going to say this though. That was really funny. We had 4 and 4 of our predictions on the staff. So the 3 owners and Drake picked Baylor, and then y'all all picked and had to live in shame for picking Iowa State. No, it was that evenly matched. This was just a great game.
Yeah, it was a very, very good game.
It's a win or lose, great game.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Hayden to find the FSU game. They've got the ball with a minute left and a chance to tie. Don Fortenberry, my good buddy, you are on the Bet US caller line.
What is up? This is my first time calling after a game, man. So it is an honor to be talking to you guys right now. But man, it was a tale of 2 halves. The second half, guys, if it wasn't for that run back on that kickoff, man, that brought the energy back. But why in the heck, on the punt return, back to our 15-yard line, why did we run 3 freaking times? Why didn't we go and kill it and run it if we tried to score? I think we played it safe, which is crazy. Man, I was so frustrated.
John, that's exactly what we talked about here in the studio.
I got one other thing to talk about too, but go ahead.
That's what we said. We said that they should at least taken 1 shot into the end zone.
Yeah, I was 100% in that. I thought that the opportunity was there to go Ben Sims again or Thornton, but didn't happen. But yeah, I was hoping that would.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So the play calling in the second half wasn't as aggressive as the first half. Okay, the one other thing I want to say, I saw Charlie Brewer there. He left about 5-7. He was in one of the press boxes on like section 311. And I just turned around. He was up there with his girlfriend, I believe, and they were actually walking out. He stood up and walked out. So I want to throw that in there.
Well, good to see Charlie back in Waco. I don't think he knows what his – and thanks, Don, for your call. I don't think Charlie knows what his football future is. And
once a Bear, always a Bear.
Yeah, exactly. And people – like I know that, look – Gary Bohannon is an upgrade athletically at quarterback for Charlie Brewer, but Charlie did a lot for Baylor, and I hope fans eventually remember that. I'll give them another 2-week grace period, but you got to just remember. And it was what it was, and I hope whatever decision he makes for his future makes him happy. All right, let's take a break right here. Load back up the calls, 254-339-1122. Plus, we'll get to some of the chat room on YouTube. This is the Sikkim 365 Radio postgame show on 365 Sports, Sikkim 365 Radio.
The 2021 Ram brand just received first place in the prestigious J.D. Power's initial quality study. The Dodge brand finished second to Ram, and the 2021 Jeep Gladiator is first among all midsize trucks. Quality and Ram Power Days, only at Allen Samuels, 201 West Loop 340.
Come by, let's be friends.
It's football season. Sports bettors and BetUS.com has your NFL and college football live betting lines up for their 27th year. Why BetUS.com? Well, they're the 3-decade leader, and you can join now for a 125% bonus on promo code SICK'EM125 with cash, or a 200% bonus on crypto with SICK'EM200. The 3-decade leader with action on every sport across the world. We can pretty much guarantee that they've got your game at BetUS.com. Use promo code SICK'EM125 or SICK'EM200.
How did Edward Jones become one of the biggest financial service companies in the world? By not acting that way. Financial strategies, one-on-one advice, it's a big difference. And that's why Brad Wilson, your Edward Jones financial advisor, makes sense of investing. Experience the difference for yourself. Brad Wilson, 250 Sharon Drive in Woodway, 254-776-4337. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
With more than 160,000 alumni worldwide and counting, the Baylor family is growing. And through the university's expanded Baylor alumni program, the family is growing closer. With hundreds of local volunteers planning events in cities and towns around the country, you can gather with fellow Bears no matter where you are. So, get connected, get something started, get involved, and make plans to get together with Baylor alumni. Visit us at baylor.edu/alumni.
Stepping into a new pair of boots is great, but stepping into the boots of a U.S. Army officer can also add confidence and leadership skills to your son or daughter's career path. There are more than 150 occupational specialties to help them find the best fit for their future. See all the things your son or daughter can achieve in our boots at GoArmy.com. U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company, 254-598-8131 or 254-776-1543.
Hey, this is Bryce Petty, former starting quarterback and two-time Big 12 champion, and I know firsthand the importance of being in top shape both on and off the field. So listen up, men. If you're feeling beat down day in and day out and looking for that high-performance edge that separates the men from the boys, then look no further than the Petty Clinic Low T in Waco. Petty Clinic is a comprehensive men's healthcare clinic with an atmosphere catering to men. Board-certified Dr. Kent Petty has a special interest in offering the highest quality medical care to men of all ages. Some of the services offered include screening and treatment for low testosterone or thyroid, infertility, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, sleep apnea, while offering comprehensive wellness exams and complete men's health lab panels. High performance men, remember, it's not just a Petty thing. This is Bryce Petty, encouraging you to reach out and Google search Petty Clinic Low T or go to pettycliniclowt.com and get your complimentary lab screening today.
Welcome back to Sikkim 365 Radio. Call us on the BetUS hotline, 254-339-1122.
Yes, do that. Paul Catalina, Brian Etheridge here on Sikkim 365, Radio 365 Sports on YouTube. And let's go to that YouTube chat right now. We load up the calls. Again, 254-339-1122. Call us, text us. Let's see. Joey Foster, Sikkim. Way to go, Baylor. Now, if my Mountaineers can rinse and repeat, I'll be a very happy man. Best of luck, Joey, on that one. Zenova says, nice win, but our OC clearly didn't want to win the game that second half. I think that's pretty harsh to saying it, but they played tight. They played tight. Yep. After the great Ebner punt return, you got to take at least one or two shots in the end zone. And then knowing that you've got a great shot for field goal, you can run the ball. Plus, Iowa State, here's the other thing that happened, and I'm sure Jeff Grimes knows this now, because as soon as they have time to think about it, they know it. When Baylor ran the ball on first down and didn't take a shot, after that, Iowa State knew that that's what they were going to do. So they crowded the box and they got after him, knowing they had to stop the run, and that Baylor was playing not to lose yards there, which they didn't do. They were successful. They got the field goal, and that's why they won the game. But it maybe not have come down to that, Brian, if they had been more aggressive.
There's some predictability that I've been seeing on film, watching in the game, and I think that got mentioned in the Fro this week, and that's something that the staff's going to make an adjustment to. They have to make an adjustment because there's certain players that come in at certain times, and you're starting to see the predictability of what they're calling in the plays. Predictability
also sometimes goes hand in hand with the fact that you've got a team that is very still new in this. They're 4 games into this offense. So there's going to be some predictability. If we're seeing this a year from now, then it's a problem. Right now, it's just...
they're perfecting their craft, but we did see plays get opened up today a little bit. Yeah. I mean, the Ben Sims down the seam. I love the tight end in the seam. And then the pass to Thornton in the corner. So those plays really haven't been in the playbook to this game.
I think, that's true. One of the things, having the tight end in the playbook, their offensive line was so bad over the last couple of years, the tight end wasn't really, even though they had plays for the tight end, it was almost an afterthought because they had to leave the tight end to block for so long because the offensive line just wasn't good. The offensive line has taken such steps now that you can do things with the tight end. You can do things with the running back. And Treston Ebner, right now, he's one of the best players in the Big 12 through 4 games. And part of that is he was already one of the most exciting players, but I don't know if he was one of the best last year. while he was there, he was always exciting and good, but he has changed his game.
Yes.
And he's committing to his spots, and he's not dancing. He's really impressive to watch.
He's lowering the shoulder. He is coming through with power. Like last year, he did dance, and I guess that could be some of the offense he was in. But, yeah, he has definitely lowered the shoulder and pushed some power out there.
Yeah. Jacob Willett, do you think we can be undefeated until at least BYU? Here's the thing. The way this conference is, I would not say – I think a lot of teams are going to start losing here to each other in the next couple weeks because there is not a lot of separation.
Yeah, and I think today a lot of the balls bounced Iowa State's way.
Mm-hmm.
The penalties all went Iowa State's way. Baylor has to clean those up. Baylor has to clean up the turnovers. And then also, anytime the ball's on the ground, fall on it, get it. And that is the one thing that Baylor hasn't done. And that, again, is learning, as a young team, learning. Because a lot of these guys, even though there are some older guys on the team, a lot of them haven't played much.
Yeah.
And again, the starting jack still hasn't played the game, even though Garmin Randolph's coming in now and starting to get into the game. Anthony Onwenu has not played a game yet. I think you're going to see the defense take another step as soon as he comes in because you're going to rotate those two guys, and now Matt Jones is probably replacing Terrell Bernard if Bernard is injured to the point where he can't come back.
Yeah. I don't he came back in the game. I tend to think that whatever his injury was is something he can move around on. He just like a ankle sprain or something like that.
It was knee related. They were checking the knee for mobility, and here's the one thing about it: that guy, if he can get on the field, is going to get on the field until his leg falls off, just like he was last year with the shoulder. You hate to see him go down with a possible injury, but when you do tweak a knee, you can have the swelling where it's going to be trouble at halftime, and you have to get it drained during the week and get all the fluids out, which is something I never want to have happen, but it does happen with athletes, and, just prayers up to him that he's okay.
Yeah. But so just different things going on in the chat. Stephen Rose mentioned that FSU's 0-4. Yeah, I know, Stephen. I know. I'm familiar.
Poor Paul.
I know. But
you know how we felt now.
But look, here's the thing. Minnesota lost to Bowling Green today, and that means the human cat poster is in the PJ Fleck. Yeah.
Bowling Green.
So let's see. I'm trying to find other Baylor comments. Or just so many kind of wild. So the chat sometimes takes on a whole different show on its own. So want to run through some scores real quick around the Big 12 and around the country while we're here. Obviously, we're here talking Baylor. Baylor wins 31-29 over 14th-ranked Iowa State. Baylor improves to 14-0 on the year. Iowa State falls to 2-2. Kansas just scored, but they're down 19, 52-33 to Duke. That game is late in the fourth quarter. Oklahoma State and Kansas State in the first quarter, 6:32 left. Oklahoma State 7, Kansas State 3. SMU defeats TCU 42-34. Tanner Mordecai, former Midway star, had a great game and a bad game kind of simultaneously. He threw a lot of picks, but that's kind of what that offense does. You saw it here. It guards the quarterbacks against some bad stats, but it promotes gunslinging, and then there's the days where you're going to get some picks. Texas might have ended Matt Wells' career at Texas Tech, 70-35.
Yeah.
Maybe not this week, but that's one of those things where
what happens
it's not officially over.
Though? If they go to a bowl, if they win 3 more games and go to a bowl, what happens?
And look, in this conference, they could totally do that.
Yeah, I mean, Kansas is coming up. That's fourth win.
Yeah.
Now you find 2 more. I mean, what happens? Baylor got beat by them last year, so what happens there? That could be again, if you go 6-6, is that good enough for Texas Tech, or are they firing?
Yeah, There's a lot. There's a lot to go there. Yeah, I think Tech though. I think Tech fans are just kind of done.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this Oklahoma West Virginia game to see what we have there. But Duke against Kansas. Kansas scores 33 on Duke. How much did Kansas score on Coastal Carolina? 17?
I think they've got in the 20s, but they had one really good quarter.
Yeah.
So
this is sort of the ACC. Ooh.
The ACC is really bad. The ACC's flagship team is really bad.
Yeah.
They're not good.
Now somebody told me it's Tech. They'll find a way to screw it up. Okay. No, I mean, hey, got a lot of Tech friends. That's you hate to see. You want people to succeed.
Well, you need the Big 12 needs the conference to be good.
Oh yeah.
Stanford and UCLA. UCLA 24th ranked in the country, 14-7 over Stanford now in the second quarter. Florida and Tennessee knotted up after one. That would be a huge win for Tennessee if they could get it. They've had a bear of a time with Florida. Nebraska and Michigan State scoreless. Auburn wins over Georgia State 34-24. Georgia manhandles Vanderbilt 62-0. Iowa State 24, Colorado State 14. In that game, Colorado State was leading at halftime, and then Iowa took control in the second half. Penn State 38, Villanova 17. Arkansas upsets Tech. I don't know if they upset them.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes down as an upset today, but Arkansas beats A&M 20-10. That's the first time they've beaten A&M in a while. And Sam Pittman has got the Hogs rolling right now. I mentioned Clemson. In overtime, NC State wins 27-21. Clemson falls to 2-2 on the year, and Clemson should not be ranked. I'm telling you right now, they shouldn't be ranked. They shouldn't be ranked. They're going to be ranked at the end of this because people think they're going to be Clemson again, but right now, that team should not be ranked.
They can't score on me and you.
They cannot score.
We might go out there. We might actually get one stop before we get carted off.
And look, Clemson might figure it out by the end of the year. They've got a lot of highly recruited kids there, but their offensive line lost 4 of their guys, I believe, three or 4 of their guys, and it's a hard thing for anybody, even Clemson, to overcome. Michigan beats Rutgers 20-13, and Notre Dame played a close. It was close until the fourth quarter, and then Notre Dame poured it on 31-3, outscoring. It was 41-13 final, but 31 points in the fourth quarter for the Irish.
I think it was 14 points off on interception returns, on deflected balls. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely nuts. Another wild, interesting day in college football. Okay, let's take a break right here. Well, hold on. I think we got one call. Let's take a call here. We'll take a break, and then load it up for one more segment. Joe in Waco, thanks for your call, buddy.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Hey, great win by the Bears today. I have to mimic some of the people on the YouTube chat because I felt like the fourth quarter, and particularly right before we scored that last field goal, we were a little conservative, and I'm pretty sure that they'll fix that and make that happen again for us. But Paul, miss you guys out here. Tonight's the last night for slapsticks, so everybody get out here, do your thing, and enjoy. And I'll be hollering at you guys again later. Thanks for taking my call, fellas.
All right, thanks, Joe. Yep, that is true. Last night for slapsticks, so if you want to go out, I'll tell you about it.
Oh, sorry about
slapsticks. But they're still going to do some events. But thanks to Champion Salon and Barber, who's taking over the sponsorship of the top 5.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. So that one stinks a little bit. I wish we hadn't gotten into that, Joe. But yeah, I appreciate your call, Joe, and I appreciate everything, Joe, that you do and you've for us. So, but yeah, Brian, this is a game where Baylor showed what they're kind of made of, and I think we need to talk about it in the last segment. 254-339-1122 if you want to get in before we go home for the day. 254-339-1122 or 365 Sports on YouTube. This is the Postgame Show on Sick'em 365 Radio.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed, smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. At a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long business meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line.
Three Nations Brewing Company has 16 different beers on draft with a new beer every Friday. It also offers 2 air-conditioned tap rooms, a large indoor beer hall, a second-floor mezzanine offering a great overview of the brewing company and equipment and patio where you can relax under the shade. Plus, you can now experience the new Three Nations Beer Garden Grill on our shaded patio with socially distanced seating for your enjoyment. Grab a cold beer and enjoy a bite from our freshly prepared and delicious menu. Street tacos, quesadillas, freshly cooked burgers and dogs and veggie burgers too. State Fair tornado fries, nachos, and so much more, all prepared and cooked on site. So come visit the award-winning Three Nations Brewing Company on East Vandergrift off I-35 in Carrollton. You want to know why Stonewood Dental is so successful? Listen to what happy customers have to say.
Pleasant. It's different than any other dentist office. I really feel like they care And it's not that you're here for 2 hours waiting on someone to take care of you. It's quick and easy, and I bring my kids, and my kids love being here too. They really love the treasure box. Staff is really nice and accommodating, real friendly. You feel more like home. It's not sterile looking. Everybody has their own personalized rooms with decorations and decor, and they'll even have a blanket for you when it's cold. I've recommended people to actually come here, and they are patients now. I really love it here. It feels like family.
Learn more, stonewood-dental.com.
In the market for a quality metal building? Since 1943, Pioneer Steel and Pipe has helped Central Texas residential and commercial customers with metal building design, panel options, building components, and trim options. Pioneer Steel and Pipe's residential line is energy efficient, offers low maintenance, reduces insurance payments, is impact resistant, and carries up to a 45-year limited warranty. In addition, they can also help you find a metal building contractor for your project. Pioneer Steel and Pipe with locations in Waco and Bryan and at pioneersboys.com.
Shorty's Pizza Shack at 12th and Bagby is a homegrown, family-owned and operated must-visit pizza place in Waco. Fantastic pizza by the slice or get the whole pie to share. Great happy hour specials every single day, and it's not just pizza. Great wings. You have to try the Sikkim sauce, chili cheese fries, pizza pillows, and more. Dine in for a great hangout or carry-out. Order online at shortyspizzashack.com or do yourself a favor and bring your crew to the restaurant at 12th and Bagby. Shorty's Pizza Shack. Tell them Paul sent you by.
This is Sikkim 365 Radio. Text us at 254-339-1122. The Sikkim 365 Radio text line is sponsored by Riverbend Liquor and Wine, with the most extensive variety of craft beer in Waco. A hidden gem on Lakeshore Drive and 19th Street.
Welcome back into the postgame show here on Sikkim 365 Radio, 365 Sports. Paul, Catalina, and Brian Etheridge with you here. And last segment of the show, 254-339-1122. Brian, I do have some news from the press conference with Dave Aranda on Terrell Bernard. Fearful of a tear with the meniscus, and they'll know more on Monday.
Yeah, it looks something like that. That's when I hate to hear that for him. We've been covering him since he was a sophomore in high school at LaPorte, and you get to know these kids, and you hate seeing anybody get injured for any
and again,
team.
he's been so good for so long for Baylor, but he's been so unlucky. And against Iowa State again, he got hurt against Iowa State. Last year. See, I'm getting choked up. I'm getting choked up about it, Brian.
Well, here's the one thing. If you're going to mess something up in your knee, a meniscus is the one to do it.
Yes.
You trim it and go. But it's a 6 weeks thing.
Yeah.
Versus a 6 month.
Well, and it just depends. But I mean, it might be it for him for Baylor for this year. I mean, that just might be it. Hopefully he can get back. And it depends on how bad it is. I tore my meniscus when I was 15. It was not fun.
No, it's not a fun injury.
There's the first thing is like, okay, maybe you can play through this, or maybe it's going to be this, or maybe the surgery will do this, and then you're just out for a long time.
That goes back to any surgery that's not your surgery is not a bad surgery,
yes.
Right? But if when it's you, it's something that's very serious, and it is a very serious injury. I don't mean to make light of that.
No, but it's but it's not an ACL. It's not his shoulder or whatever happened last year.
It's not the MCL. It's not the ACL. Well, it's meniscus, so it's MCL.
But it's. It could be very, very, very much worse. So hopefully we'll see him back. And then there's no report on Jalen Petrie just yet, and I know they're probably still in that press conference.
That sort of looked like a
now.
cramp a little bit to me.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, he felt like he fell over. And, of course, I don't blame you for cramping, Jalen. You were covering Charlie Kohler the whole day.
That guy's going to the NFL.
He's going to be at least a second-round pick, probably a first-round pick, and he's going to make a lot of money. And he's going to make a lot of money one day. All right, one more time into the chat.
Somebody says they can't hear anything.
They can't hear anything?
Yeah, somebody just posted in the chat said they can't hear anything. But
been hearing things the whole time. I don't know what's.
I don't know.
I don't know what's termed different. So
yeah, I hear myself in the headphones.
We are completely fine. Trust me.
Yeah, we're completely fine.
Double, triple.
So
I'm always
everything.
Gonna freak out there.
Yeah.
Like you want to hear me anyway.
Let's see. They were a different team without Bernard, no doubt, from Keith. Going to be interesting to see how they address his loss in the next week. And it's going to be Matt Jones. It's the guy who kind of steps in. But Petrie, we know, is really good. Ashton Logan had a really nice game today in stretches, and I'm sure there were some matchup issues because he had to cover tight ends too, and both of them are good. But Ashton Logan made some good plays today. Matt Jones made a couple good plays. One of them was a great tackle of Breece Hall. The problem is he tried to jerk his helmet off when he did it. But Matt Jones has shown some stuff, and Dylan Doyle is a dude back there. Yeah. He's a really good tackler. He's always in the mix, and he wears it number 5. I keep thinking about Eddie Lackey when I see him, but he's a little bigger than Eddie, but
not quite as fast.
Not quite as fast. A little bigger, but he gets his nose in it.
Yeah, the guy that came into Will Williams did come in and played some in place of Bernard when they switched out. So
he made some disruptive plays. Mm-hmm. He didn't finish them yet, but that's experience.
He also had the back of the helmet face mask as well.
Yeah.
We got called against Matt Jones and Will Williams. So young Baylor linebackers, a little lower.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Final thoughts, Brian, from me. I think Baylor mashed them up today early on, controlled the game early. If this is a team that can win, they're going to win like this a lot. They'll win better if they get out of their own way.
Yes.
They gave Iowa State the opportunity, and Iowa State almost capitalized on all of them except for one, and that was the one they did need to capitalize on, but that was kind of almost the difference. That's what I thought would happen was Baylor's going to make some mistakes. Iowa State will capitalize. Can Baylor not make those mistakes? Well, they did, but they didn't capitalize on one, and Baylor wins this game. And now we have to look at this Baylor team a little bit differently. Like I thought they were a bowl team. I think we all thought they were a bowl team. But this is a team that might be, if not contending. It's too early to say contending for the Big 12 title because I don't know who else is.
No.
But I do think this team is now they could ruin somebody who thought they were. Look, they've already ruined Iowa State's Big 12 or national title stuff. I mean, might have been ruined with Iowa, but it was definitely ruined today. So
think about this. Iowa State still hasn't had a 10-win season.
Yeah.
They're not going to have one this year. There's no way
they got to win out.
They got to win out.
They got to win out, or they'll lose one and then win the bowl game. So yeah.
Well, no, they got to beat.
No,
you beat Texas, OU, Oklahoma State, West Virginia. They're going to run through all those guys and lose. No.
Yeah.
No. Sorry, Iowa State. Yeah. I should have put that in their top 10. That Iowa State will not have another 10-win season, but that's the entire history of the program at Iowa State. Never a 10-win season.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. By the way, Durwake, Baylor winning with a Texas Tech grad head coach again. And I guess he was a GA, so yeah, he counts.
Had a master's there, I think.
Facepalm emoji. Tech will be lucky to beat Kansas. I don't know about that, but it was not a great day for Tech. Thank you to everybody who called in, who texted, who got on the chat. Enjoyed it. Brian, enjoyed it as always.
Always, Paul.
This is Sikkim 365 Radio, 365 Sports. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Hit the notification bell.
Or I'll TP your house. I know where you all live.
We can dox you right there.
That's it.